What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shogi from Shook Earth Media, and today we are talking about episode 2 of the final season of The Walking Dead, season 11. Let's just jump right into it. So I really enjoyed this episode, action-packed, exciting. It really gets me excited to see where we're going in the future. I really enjoyed the subway action, and the set design of the sets was phenomenal. The atmosphere was great. Even a step up from even the episode before, where I said last week that I really enjoyed seeing a new location, because we've been so deprived of that in the series as of late. So it's really nice to see some really cool looking locations, especially at the end of the episode. We have naturally growing plants retaking the subway, and it looks incredible. The greens department did a great job at making it look natural, and it was just really fun to look at. Just straight up really good to look at. And a lot of the zombies were cool in this episode as well. So I also enjoyed how the Maggie and Negan thing ended up playing out, where Negan is just straight up. He doesn't lie about it, what he did. He comes straight out and says it, and it just felt like such a Negan thing to do, because he's always been a guy, he tells you how he's feeling, you know. He doesn't do deception. He doesn't try to lie to people too often. It really seems like he's an honest guy for what it's worth in the apocalypse, right? So yeah, it was great to see that interaction between Maggie and Negan, and of course they have a truce by the end because of the survival situation that they're in, and it'll be interesting to see how that changes, after they achieve this mission. If they achieve this mission, will they go back to the conflict they had before, or will they have a new understanding? It'll be fun to see how that tracks throughout the season, so I'm looking forward to that. There's a portion of the episode where Daryl was on his own exploring the subway tunnel, and that was one of my favorite parts of the episode, even though he's really just looking around. But the detail in the environments was really cool, and there's this mural on the wall that I think was very interesting. And actually, last week I was talking about how I was concerned that these storylines weren't going to have any sort of cohesion to them, but with that scene and seeing that mural, which depicted people wearing crowns, and I'm assuming that these are people who were more well-equipped and had more food and water and stuff. Maybe they were wealthy to begin with and had supplies stockpiled. And then at the bottom of the mural, you see the people in the crowns are now homeless. So I don't know if that's supposed to represent the apocalypse kind of equalizing everybody, or if there was some specific struggle where these rich people were being swarmed by people that wanted their stuff. And there was also people in crowns being beaten up by not zombies, but regular people that look like zombies, right? And just how they're behaving. So I think that has some interesting thematic stuff to do with some of the stuff that's going to happen with the Commonwealth later on. And if we can find a way to tie that into the Reaper storyline, that cohesion that I was looking for, it might exist. So, it remains to be seen as of yet, but I was encouraged by that scene, that they were as well thinking about cohesion. So that is important to me. In a final season, I think you don't want as many diverging storylines. In my view, you kind of want things to be more focused at this point. So, that would be a welcome thing. Now, the Commonwealth portions of this episode were very intriguing, and again, I am encouraged, because last week I was talking about how it seemed like they're trying to play up the villain aspect, and this week seems like they're going more the comic route. So again, my concerns maybe not exactly warranted. I'm sure I'll get some comments of people being disagreeing with me and saying, oh, you're just worried about nothing, and maybe you guys are right. But I have to throw it out there. I'm just letting you guys know what I'm thinking at the time, right? So that's what we do on this channel. And I really enjoyed seeing Mercer in this episode. He really stood out. I will say that I feel like Eugene's aspect of the storyline, I think they went a little too far with him being a coward. At first, I thought maybe he was playing it up because he had a shiv at that point, and I was like, maybe he's playing it up so that he can use it as a distraction and so that they won't expect him to fight back or something like that. But they didn't end up doing that. To me, it felt a bit like a regression. I mean, Eugene has always been a coward. That's how he was introduced. But throughout the seasons, we've given him opportunity after opportunity to become less of a coward and to fight for what's right. I mean, he's essentially the guy that ended the war between Negan and the heroes. So he saved Tara back in, what was that, season 6 or something? I mean, we've had plenty of scenes where he was a coward and then he found strength and was able to overcome that. Now, to say that he's going to be a strong character all the time is ridiculous, of course, but I think it was a little too much on the nervousness. It seemed a little bit out of character at this point, but I don't know. Maybe you guys disagree about that. Please let me know in the comments. Would love to discuss with you guys a little more. I mean, we did have him throwing up on Rosita, was it last season? So, you know, of course he is a coward. He always will have that aspect. Other than that, I don't really have too many negative takeaways from this episode. It was a lot of fun. The last scene, seeing the Reapers, that was a scary scene. I'm curious to see how that goes. I like the visuals that they had with the hanging people and, you know, being attacked from afar, and the viciousness and the brutality of it was very interesting to me. Going back to the subway scene, we had that great scene of the young guy who ran away with all the supplies asking to be let into the subway car, and of course I feel like that's essentially what let Negan live, because the group decided to do the same thing that Negan essentially just did to Maggie. So I thought that was really great to bring out the themes of the episode. I'm still very curious to see how this Reaper storyline is going to go and how it's going to tie in. I hope it's not filler. I hope it's, you know, I hope it's amazing. I was also interested to see that Yumiko is essentially getting all the aspects of Michonne's storyline in the Commonwealth, right down to the fact that she's a lawyer, which didn't really click with me. I forget if Michonne is a lawyer in the show. Please tell me in the comments. But in the comics, she's a lawyer, and pretty much beat for beat so far, every aspect of the story is there, except Michonne had a daughter in the Commonwealth. Spoiler alert, sorry. But now it's Yumiko's brother, which I feel like a sibling is not quite as engaging as a daughter or son would be, but it's still intriguing and it motivates them wanting to stay and not try to escape. So all that makes sense to me, and I'm very excited to see the Commonwealth going forward. And also, looking at the preview of next week's episode, I'm actually just as excited to see what's going on in Alexandria at this point. You know, I want to see what Carol's doing and all of our characters still on the home front. So it'll be interesting once we get into the groove of this season to see how the balance between the different storylines works. And a lot of my feelings about how the season goes as a whole is going to depend on that, of course. So yeah. Overall, really enjoyed this episode. Very entertaining. No real major gripes other than the minor things I mentioned, and I'm very excited to see more episodes. So if you guys like this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more reviews every week after the episodes air on cable. And if you guys like comic books, please check out shookearth.com to learn about my medieval comic series, Hototo. We'll have a lot to share about that very soon. And we're going to be committing to regular content on this channel. So between 2 or 3 videos and or live streams every week. So we're going to have some Walking Dead tier lists. I think we'll do that. That might be fun. But any ideas or anything you guys want to discuss, please leave your comments below. I will be reading every single one of them. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next